So I've got a little more difficult example of the chain rule. In this case, it's a little harder because I've got a fraction here. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do to find this derivative is I'm going to have to use the quotient rule because I've got a fraction. But when I take the derivative of the bottom, you can see I'm going to have to use the chain rule of the bottom function because I have an inside and then an outside. Okay, and so let's start it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write y prime equals, and I'm going to do my quotient rule, the bottom. So 3t plus 2 all cubed, and so that represents the bottom, times the derivative of the top, which is 0, minus what's on top, times the derivative of the bottom. Now here's where we're going to have to do our chain rule, the derivative of the bottom. Okay, so the derivative, there's understood to be a 1 in front, so 3 times 1 is 3. And then I don't change what's in the parentheses, 3t plus 2. I'm going to reduce the power by 1, and so it'll be squared. And then I need to multiply by the derivative of the inside. So I just look at the inside and say, what is the derivative of 3t plus 2? Well, it's just 3. So what I have here is the bottom times the derivative of the top minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. And the quotient rule says all over the bottom, 3t plus 2 cubed, all squared. Madison. And so what you see here on the screen, this is the derivative. But what we need to do is we need to clean it up. We need to simplify it. And so I've got y prime equals, now all this right here is being multiplied by 0, so it basically cancels, okay? And this negative will make a positive. And so I'm going to multiply 5 times 3 times 3. So 5 times 3 is 15, times 3 is 30. And so I've got 30, okay, times, and so I multiplied 5 times 3 times 3, and I got 30. And so I'm going to write 3t plus 2 squared. And so I've got 3t plus 2 squared. And that's all over what's on bottom, 3t plus 2. And a power to another power you multiply, so you've got 6 to the 6th power. Now I want you to see that on top I have 3t plus 2 squared. And on bottom, I have 3t plus 2 to the 6th power. So there's 2 3t plus 2's on top, and there's 6 on bottom, okay? And so what I can do is I can cancel the 3t plus 2 on top. I canceled 2 of them, so I'm going to cancel 2 on bottom, which will make it to the 4th power. So now let's write our final answer. Y prime equals 30 over 3t plus 2 all to the 4th power. And that's the derivative. Now in that problem we used the quotient rule because I had a fraction, and when we found the derivative of the bottom we had to use the chain rule. And so here is my final answer right here. Let's go ahead and circle it. Always good to circle your final answer.